The university experience. A time in a young person's adolescent life where they start to experience the benefits of having an age tell them they can and can't do something. Most people go out and party, experiment with interesting and different concoctions, and hang out with like-minded people. But for me, nothing beats listening to filthy German white noise, which hasn't changed since the 90s, while attempting to herniate my L5 as my skin vibrates after I've consumed way too much pre-workout. Surely there's a place for me, somewhere I can lift my weights and not be seen as a gym-bound troglodyte, meet like-minded people, and maybe even a friend. I think I'm gonna like it here. Welcome to my first powerlifting competition, hosted by the Yuan Strength Society and the Hunter Performance Center. In a powerlifting competition, there are 3 goals. Lift as heavy as you can in the squat, bench, and deadlift. You get 3 attempts in each, and whoever gets the most in a combined total wins. Athletes get put into weight categories, which is a blessing for me, so twig-shaped people like me don't have to lift with people that could lift a car. The weight division I'm going for is the under 83 kilogram division. This would be great if I was 83 kilogram. However, after weighing in at the competition, I found out that I was 77.5 kilograms. 5.5 kilograms underweight. Bit of a silly move for me, but cutting to 74 kilograms, the division below, would have been the definition of suffering. So for next time, be closer to the weight limit. My competitors not only had mass on me, but the intimidation factor of appearing larger and stronger, as being underweight to such an extent put me in a disadvantage straight off the bat. But that was my first mistake. But don't worry, there's plenty more. Here are the 10 things I wish I knew before I started powerlifting. The second mistake, get all the gear or you will look like you have no idea. The usual equipment you need for a competition is knee sleeves, a belt, chalk, and lifting shoes. I mean, I had a belt and some Nike Blazers. Yeah, the singlets, they're pretty sexy. And I'm really sad I didn't buy one because I love wearing really tight fitting clothing under high beam lights in front of hundreds of people. So I was clearly underprepared. For squats, I had 3 goals. Get a lift on the board, better or equal my 1 rep max of 170 kilograms, or hit the forbidden 4-plate date with back pain, 180 kilograms. And as I've never been in a competition, the third thing I wish I knew before I started lifting was don't start warming up too early. This is a marathon, not a sprint. This isn't your normal session of Planet Fitness, where you're gonna get it over and done with in half an hour. There's some long waiting periods. And if you rush your warm-up, you'll be sitting around for 20 minutes, twiddling your thumbs, waiting for you to go on stage, and then your muscles start to get cold. Exhibit A. After doing my final warm-up with 150 kilos, it felt strong, and I thought I was going to crush my first attempt. So now it's time to step under the lights for the first time. Go Hamish! After finishing the squat, it felt good, but stepping onto the lights, onto a stage with people watching and yelling, I was so out of my depth. But it felt good enough for my second attempt to go for my PR, 170 kilos. What? Back. So we just finished squats and mixed feelings, but I'm definitely not used to the whole idea of commands and figuring out when I have to start lifting on the basis of someone telling me when to. I'm really happy though with my second squat, the 170. I probably could have gone 172.5, but definitely had it in me. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. On to the next. Now bench is an interesting experience for me. In the gym, I love this exercise, but only in the rep ranges of 6 to 12. My fourth realization is that 1 rep maxes require skill and practice, and you can't just walk onto a powerlifting stage and expect to be able to do it without really practicing that much. Specificity is key.
Start. Press. Come on. Rack.
Feeling good in the warm-ups, I thought 115 would be a great opener. But under the lights, the pressure of the commands, and the weights felt much heavier than in training. I wish this was my second lift, as it was not as quick as I thought it would be, and it was a little bit of a hit to the ego, and a little bit of a hit to the confidence. This is due to the commands the judge tells you. You're only allowed to press the bar once it becomes completely stationary. I train mostly with touch and go reps, so my muscles never lose the momentum of the lift. However, in this situation, I lost all momentum, and it completely and utterly destroyed my chest. So this comes to my sixth realization. Have a low and achievable number as your opener, and don't go for something that you think you can do. Play it safe, because you never know what will happen when you step under the lights.
Start. Press.
And my seventh realization was that I needed to practice my pause reps. As I said before, specificity is king. And if I'm not doing pause reps in my training, and I'm trying to compete in a powerlifting competition, I'm gonna lose. So if that means stripping the weight back, focusing on slow and controlled reps, and damaging my ego a little bit, that's okay. Because as long as I get stronger for the next competition, that's all that matters. In the future, I'll try to have more self-belief, because I know I can do this lift. And that's my eighth realization. You gotta back yourself. I let doubt creep into my mind, and I failed. And that just shows that mental fortitude doesn't only apply to things like endurance sports, but if you don't back yourself, you'll fail things that you can usually do. With those two lifts complete, my total so far was at 285 kilograms, with only squat and bench done. It put me in striking range for my goal of 500 kilograms, but I'd need to pull or equal my PR of 215 kilograms on the deadlift.
Let's go. Nice.
My first lift was a conservative 195 kilos, just to get comfortable and put a score on the table. Feeling confident, I jumped to 207.5 kilograms to make sure I had a decent number before I went up and went for the goal.
Let's go.
And this turned out to be a great decision. And that's my ninth rule. Your second score in each lift should always be a great backup score. It shouldn't be too high that it completely and utterly taxes you for your final lift, but it should be a good respectable number. So if you fail that lift, you have something good to fall back on. Throughout the day, I'd been completely and utterly focused on doing my best. But this was the moment. If I lifted it, I'd get 500 kilos. With 215 put on the bar, that was all that was left to do, was to back myself, believe, and execute. Relief. That's all I can say about that deadlift. Halfway through the rep, I thought I wasn't going to get it, and I didn't think it was going to happen. But something inside me, the fire, the self-belief came back. I didn't give up. Months before, I would have dropped it, and thought it was a failed attempt. And that's my 10th realization. Have confidence. Whatever the stage of training you're at, if you're going to compete, you've already put hours of work in to achieve a goal. And you do this kind of stuff every day. You just need to believe in yourself and have the courage to step under the lights in the first place. But whatever the outcome, you've made yourself proud by having the confidence to try something new or go. Whatever the outcome is, you've won.
Congratulations to the total of 500 kilos in the dot, Amy Scrape.
Woo!